you shall employ God your fighter, is because you have covenant with him. If you shall have God be your contender, that's because you have a covenant with God. And if someone does not have covenant with God, maybe your mother, someone praying for you is someone that has covenant with God. Because God, as he said, Lot don't have covenant with God. Lot actually rode on the shadow of his brother. Bible does not tell us when did this man Lot cut covenant with God. There is nowhere in the Bible where the Bible tells us that Lot cut covenant. The closest we have is God telling the Bible telling that Lot was righteous. I searched for the righteousness in the Bible, the version of righteousness that Lot had. I found it to be a lower version of righteousness. He had an element of a good man. And I've taught that one for those of us who follow. I've given us a meaning of that one in Hebrew. So you go and search search in the scriptures. This righteousness that the Bible equates Lot with, what kind of righteousness is it? It is not righteousness that qualifies us to heaven. It is a righteousness that actually is qualified by him being able to judge. I mean, not to harm, not to steal, not to do what? The local standard of being a good man. But not righteousness that actually qualifies one to make heaven. So, Taua. So, Jesus tells us in Matthew chapter number 5, verses number 18, verse number 20, sorry, that you must have righteousness that supersedes the righteousness of the Pharisees and the Sadducees, failure to which you will not make heaven. Now that means you set for yourself a standard, because Pharisees set their standards. So you too set your standard. So we find that's a standard that sustains, for those who make heaven, you sustain the righteousness of God imputed upon you through Christ Jesus by righteousness, which prophet says they can be like filthy rags. They are a filthy rags when it comes to you think you can make heaven by that righteousness. But Jesus qualifies and says, you sustain the righteousness of God by you also maintaining a standard that you set by yourself. This I shall not do. That I shall not do. This I shall not do. This shall I do. So, because, as long as you accept righteousness, does not disqualify the righteousness of God imputed upon you. So, the Matthew 5:20 dimension of righteousness, or definition of righteousness, or dimension of righteousness is actually a standard you set for yourself.